Welcome to Clicks and Coffee. I'm here with Dr. Chris Mason, founder of Rebirth Advanced Healing, where science and natural care meet to help people, especially seniors, live with less pain and more freedom. Chris, it's great to have you here. Let's dive in.
Thanks for having me, Alex. Appreciate it.
So, well, I said Chris, but I got a little bit ahead of myself. Doctor, what is your backstory and how did Rebirth Advanced Healing come to life?
Oh, great question, Alex. My wife teases me. I have no problem telling this story. So I did a few things in the world of work prior to ever even getting into medicine. Once I did, I became a board certified emergency physician. From there, through many years and many shifts in emergency departments all across the country, I had a first row seat to the soft underbelly of our system and got used to taking care of a lot of people, especially a lot of seniors, and developed a very strong passion for healing and being a part of the cure. I saw my fair share of wounds of all sorts and sizes, from wounds that people just sustained to wounds that people had been suffering with for years, in some cases, even decades.
Wow.
I spent decades myself in the emergency department and decided that it was time for me to do something more impactful for these seniors, these folks who were suffering with these wounds. And I started to waltz my way out of the emergency department, developed a strong passion at the same time, not only for healing and being part of the cure, but also for regulatory compliance. And what that means is really around who owns a medical practice, what can be supervised and what can be delegated. And there's a whole bunch of rules and actually laws all across the country that go into that. So I went out on the speaking circuit, developed a little bit of a name for myself, and a fella by the name of Trey Stapleton heard about me, found out about me, and we happened to share a vision for healing, being a part of the cure. And Trey in particular had a soft spot in his heart too for seniors, folks in underserved communities, folks who were homebound through his experience in home health sales. And we came together and Rebirth was born.
And I see the logo is the Phoenix.
That's correct. Yep, absolutely. And it's a great story behind it, and it signifies a rebirth. And on one hand, we're honoring babies who are literally born heroes through the gift, the very first gift they ever give, changing lives after a healthy live birth. They donate their placenta with their mother's consent, which then is processed into these advanced biologic cellular skin grafts that retain all kinds of amazing healing power that then give that gift of a rebirth to our senior patients who are suffering with chronic wounds and help them restore their quality of life.
And so this is like a pretty innovative, I would say, way to heal wounds. And so you are located in Traverse City, Michigan. Is this a local practice, or how does that work? Is this something that you are developing all throughout the U.S.?
Yeah, Alex, we are actually. We are currently open for business in 22 states all across the country. I like to say our global headquarters are right here in Traverse City, Michigan. So yes, we are delivering this care as far and wide as we possibly can to help transform those lives and give the gift of that rebirth.
And is it the state where you're expanding to? Is it based on like rules and regulation of, because always when we are trying to do advanced medicine, I would say it's always a little complicated to navigate rules and regulation. So I imagine that it's not like a easy road to always find new locations.
No, it's not. The easiest part of it actually is opening the practice in any given state and staffing it with the right professionals, physicians, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, and other patient care coordinators, district managers, and the list goes on and on. The thing to concern ourselves with when it comes to this high technology, advanced care, there are some very hard and fast rules that apply to be able to use this regenerative medicine technique. And that means that a wound has to be stalled for a minimum of 4 weeks of time and to be 50% or less healed. That's when our referral partners can call us, and we can then come out, evaluate that patient, talk to them, figure a little bit more about their situation and their life story, and see how we can help.
No, this is pretty amazing. And so we were talking about earlier the fact that in medicine, it's some people see it as a passion thing, some people see it as a gigantic, business opportunity. And I know that you are very much on the passion side of things.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah. And so one of the thing that I like about what you're doing is that the point of the wound care is not to see that as a recurring thing, but really as a recurring treatment, but really as like trying to figure out how to cure it once and for all. So that is really like what you guys are trying to do, is to find the best techniques to deal with a wound once and for all. Basically, I don't want to see you. I want to heal you, but I don't want to see you again. In
Right.
the sense of like, it's the
Exactly.
we heal the wounds.
Right. So our goal is to graduate our patients, right? And doing so, remove that term patient from their vocabulary, and basically give them back their humanity, make them human again, right? And to not be a patient, which kind of gives you the idea they're a sick person or they're unhealed, right? At least as far as their wound is concerned. And we also consider the whole person, because wound healing doesn't just involve one aspect, right? There's 6 core fundamentals involved in wound healing that touch on every cellular process in our brain and body. And that's nutrition, it's movement, it's supplements and medications or lack thereof, it's sleep, it's managing stress, and it's having healthy, positive relationships. All of our clinicians focus in around all of those things to look at the whole patient in that aspect. So I think I got off track, though. I wanted to share that with you, but give me the crux of your question one more time, Alex, because I don't want to leave anything out.
No, we were talking about how to heal patient. Like the goal of your practice is to heal people once,
to
and to do the
graduate them.
research for that, right? To graduate.
Yes. I'm so glad that we are going over this one more time for me, because there's 8.8 million people across this country right now. The vast majority of them are seniors struggling, suffering with these chronic non-healing wounds. Just think about it. I mean, they can't be out with their grandchildren. They can't go to the beach. They can't live their life for fear of this wound, either putting off other people or getting infected or something like that. So our goal is definitely heal the wound once and for all and graduate them.
And so we were talking a little bit offline, how complex or how advanced your technique is, I would say. It's always, we're not going to go into the details because that would be a little too complex, so that would take a long time to really go over all the ideas. But when you're launching and when you have a practice that is advanced, the point is to spread the word and make people discover. So you said you were doing some speaking engagements, but how do you differentiate yourself, and what do you do to make people understand that this should be the proper way to treat wounds, so at least the ones that are problematic?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Alex. And really the system that we use is we have patients who happen to be at home or on assisted living or in a nursing home. And if they happen to have a wound for whatever reason isn't healing, then people, either family members, the patient themselves, or the people who are in charge of that person's care team will reach out to us and say, hey, we think this wound is stalled. We think the healing process is not progressing as it should. It's been at least 4 weeks. It's less than 50% healed. Please come and evaluate this patient and see if you can help. And that's how we get involved in the first place.
And how do you reach out to all these people? How do you get your name out there? Because it seems to me, with everything you've been telling me, that everybody should know about you. So
Right.
so how do you spread the word, and how do you get your practice more famous, so that way I'm sure you cannot treat everybody, but as many people
Right.
as possible.
Absolutely. That's our mission. And Alex, besides being on your show, we have district managers in every state that we're operational. It's these folks, this team's job to go out and spread the word and let everybody know about this. Because to a person, Alex, even my own personal acquaintances, when I tell them our story, when I tell them about everything from the baby born a hero donating their placenta to how the placenta is processed into these special grafts, to how then the application of the graft transforms someone's life and gives them a rebirth, to a person, everybody is amazed. They didn't know such a thing even existed.
I
And a
didn't know
lot of
either.
them, yeah, a lot of them have either personally themselves, either through 1 or 2 degrees of separation, somebody they know, a senior who's been
Mm.
struggling with a chronic non-healing wound. Um, so that just tells you the gravity of this, and the idea of regenerative medicine and the advances in technology. Again, I got into medicine to be a part of the cure, to be a healer. I didn't get into medicine to kick the can down the road, to keep people codependent on a sick roll because it provides a recurring source of revenue. I'd much rather heal a person and be done with them, and maybe see them at the park or see them at the beach or see them in the grocery store, right? Living their life. I get goosebumps when I talk about that.
And I was checking also on your website. There are some parts of the website that I didn't click because I'm not a doctor for a reason. One of the main reason is
Right.
I'm pretty sensitive to, I would say, to some images, but
Some of
you
the
see the
pictures,
proof is
yeah.
in the pudding.
Right.
And that's what you're trying to do with your website as well, to make sure that people can really see what you guys are doing, and see that is working, and see that it is really a thing. And so sometimes it can be difficult when you're doing something new and innovative to make people understand, and also to separate yourself from the non-medicine. Or some people are very good at marketing but not very good at medicine. And so when you for example, I don't know, going to a senior living facility, or trying to get a partnership with some other places where you can help them, how do you convince them, and how do you make sure that they understand the full benefits of the practice that you have and the services that you offer?
Absolutely. Alex, I'm so glad you asked that question. It reminded me of some very important part of what we do. And that is, our mission is to become the undisputed leader in advanced wound care across the country, because We want to bring this healing, this rebirth, to as many seniors suffering with chronic wounds as we possibly can. If we could, to all 8.8 million. And the way that we're going to do that, and what we do all the way up to and including, and even after the interactions we have with people on that person's care team, is the way we're going to become the undisputed leader is by building unshakable trust. The way we're going to build unshakable trust is in transparency of communication along all kinds of areas, but we boil them down to what we call, or what's called, the big five, right? Our goal is to answer questions that our patients, their family members, and our referral partners have before they even ask. We're going to do that on our website. We're going to do that via social media, and we're going to do that mostly through video content. Number one, we're going to talk about cost. It's a hot topic these days, let's face it.
Yep.
Right? We're going to talk about cost. We are going to talk about reviews. We are going to talk about best in class, right? We are going to talk about problems and concerns. And finally, we are going to simply be more human. And we're going to do all of these things in ways that most people in medicine don't. Frankly, we're going to show things others won't show. We're going to say things that others won't say. We're going to promote this regenerative medicine in ways others won't promote. And we're going to be more human than others are willing to be. And that's how, transparently, that's how we build the unshakable trust. And the trust is what's going to be the thing that opens everybody's eyes up to this miracle, basically.
No, I totally agree, and that's the big. I would say that's a big topic lately is transparency for everything, and really, if you're doing the right thing and you show it and you say, here, this is what I do. Ask me any questions, and I'll let you know honestly, what it is. I think that's a really big thing. I'm seeing that also a lot in senior living, and I'm talking in operations where families want to have a way to access their loved ones at any time. And I say that so you can have speakers that you can install in rooms where they can talk to you directly, or being able to know what happened, or have all of the, I would say, all of the activities that your loved one has done, or even sometimes being able to access them through a camera very easily. But right. I think that's one of the big thing is transparency and not hiding anything, and that's something that some people got away with it, I would say, up until now. But slowly but surely, all of this is really is really going to show who are the good actors and who are the bad actors by asking transparency, and that's really a big thing. I think, as you said, cost is a big one. It's right now there is a lot of problem with affordability, and we were seeing that as well in the senior living. Cost for the any senior living around the US, and how do we combat that? But being able to know where you're going is a good way for families to really set a precedent on how things should be done.
Absolutely.
And so how much do you work on your website? Because I went to check, I see you have some good videos, you have some good content. So how much time do you spend per week, I would say, on talking about rebirth?
Yeah, a lot, a ton. And we're just now ramping up to get the word out about all this. Yes, we are a medical practice through and through. I am the 100% owner, sole member. I've got no partners. There's no shareholders. There's no private equity. There's no venture capitalists. My loyalty is to my patient and my Hippocratic oath. That's it. I answer to no one else. I've been fortunate enough to build this phenomenal team of people who care as deeply as I do. So I'm very privileged to be able to have this entire organization focused with my focus on my people and the patient at the center of everything we do. It's definitely a privilege for me. So I don't know if that answered your question, Alex. I might have gotten off track.
On the on the time that you spend on the website and communication, because I know
Yes, there we go. So I'm getting to it. There we go. I'm getting to it. Yes. So we are a medical practice through and through, without a doubt. It's in our DNA. Having said that, building trust through transparency and communication requires that we become, look like, and act like an innovation, technology, data, logistics, and multimedia company. We have an entire marketing team and a very robust innovation, technology, data, and logistics team. We have our executive brand ambassador. We have a video content creator who is a wonderfully talented videographer and photographer. We have an entire team of people, right, from our director of marketing to our brand communications and integrated communications manager. We have built this entire infrastructure of innovation, technology, data, logistics, and multimedia to work on our website, because that and social media are the vehicles that we'll use. And eventually it's going to be AI. It's all going to be an instrument we use to get the word out, to demonstrate our transparency, and to build that unshakable trust.
And I'm sure that you're realizing bit by bit that like it's a crazy amount of work to put that together. And we always think it's like, I'm doing something right, everybody will come, but then no.
Yes.
You have to do you still have to do a lot. No, let's see, this is really amazing. And what have you seen on the digital marketing side where you're getting the most success, or like, what did you feel that since you've been doing some, I don't know, some video, I know you're doing videos, and other thing, what do you see that is working the best to attract people, at least to get more people to learn about your company?
Absolutely. Great question, Alex. And so I'll give you a phased answer based on what I know is going to work best versus what I'm able to convince my team to do up until this point. Okay. So what I know will work best is the whole concept of being more human. The world is quickly changing in front of our eyes. There's some crazy number. It's got to be 40, 60%. Someone out there will have it, and then they might comment and let us know what the number is. But there's some number of people who these days get their answer to their question straight from AI. They don't even go to a search engine. They're using ChatGPT, they're using Gemini, they're using Claude, they're using all these AI functions, and they have a question, they ask it in the AI app itself, and they get their answer. They don't even go to a search engine, right? So in today's world, in order to not only have people talking about us, but to have AI talking about us, is to be more human. Interestingly enough, how do you be more human on a website or on LinkedIn or on any social media channel, there's the number one way, and that is video content. Video content. So what I know will work best to get the word out is our entire team representing an army of talent and clinical expertise putting out video content and becoming content creators. However, I found that not many people are so comfortable being a content creator. So, Alex, that is a work in progress. We're working on it. For now, they're posting content a lot more. It's not so much video, but I see an increase. Yeah, we're getting there. We're taking steps, which is important.
And it's pretty true, because I was reading so actually the funny thing is that LinkedIn put out a study where they are seeing increasing a big increase. I think it was something like 35% year over year on video content on LinkedIn, and saying like, if you want to get your word out, you need to be on video. And the funny thing is, like, that study was presented in LinkedIn in a video, which,
Yeah.
and at least they do it correctly instead of just putting an article. But yeah, so no, I totally agree that is a great way to, that is a great way. And that's one of the things also that we're trying to do and trying to tell our clients to do is, cannot relate more to that of being more human and letting people see who you are and how you talk, where you are talking, what do you do, what are you touching, what are you showing to people. And that's a really is and will keep becoming like a big thing until we need to make sure to figure out how to have like maybe a badge that says a real human video and not an AI video.
Right.
But that's the other, that's the other thing that's
That'll
going
be
to
the next thing, right?
Yes. But I agree with you. And that's one of the big things we're working on also with Pentelope, is to figure out. So number one, how to get people to find you when they're doing a ChatGPT search or any other
Right.
LLM models, because at the end of the day, what do? They go on websites where they can gather the information that actual people wrote in order to get their answers. So they don't make up the answers, they just gather the answers and analyze and then spit out the info or whatever question they had for you. But no, that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's always a big battle, but I'm pretty impressed with what you're doing. I encourage everybody to go on your website. I try to, look as much as I could, but there's something that's like, I saw you had some warnings on it. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty amazing before and after photos, but yeah, it's
I think it's for a crowd that is used to that.
Yes.
But anyway, so anybody that is really, I would say, interested in learning advanced wound healing, but when I say interested, is really like seeing, not just reading about it. It's like seeing. You can go on your website and you have everything, and it's like zero transparency on everything.
Absolutely.
But no, it was a true pleasure having you on the podcast. I really like what you do. Really like the fact that on top of bringing innovative care and I would say true care, you also seem to pretty know what needs to be done to get the word out there. We wish you all the best on that, and for sure we'll help you and click as many times as I can the video to try to get the word.
Yes, please. Yeah, and you and all your viewers and listeners, please don't forget to visit www.healdon'trepeal.com to make sure that all seniors who struggle with these chronic wounds can always have access to the cure.
Yes, that's the most important, but we'll put all of the URLs and all of the info in the description, so that way people can really see everything. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome. Thank you, Alex.